Zac Clark finally talks about Tayshia Adams' split. Zac Clark has not said a lot in terms of his breakup with former Bachelorette Tayshia Adams. He originally appeared on the show when Claire Crawley was the lead. However, when Claire left with Dale Moss, Zac went on to date Tayshia and won her heart. He proposed at the final rose ceremony. They were engaged for about a year before calling it quits. Now, he is finally sharing a little more about that time in his life. What did he say? Keep reading to get the scoop. Zac Clark is addressing Tayshia Adams' breakup. For the first time ever, Zac Clark is sharing a little about his breakup with Bachelorette Tayshia Adams. He spoke about it on the Zac Clark Show podcast. He didn't say much, but it's more than he's said over the past 4 years. Zac said, "It's very well documented. I went on the Bachelorette. I ended up engaged. I was in that relationship for about a year. When those relationships end, which mine did, and the moral of that story is really, two good people don't always make a good couple." He addressed it a little further and said, "It just didn't work, right? We played it pretty low-key. We didn't do some big breakup announcement, but it started to get out that we had broken up." Zac then addressed how a text message from his friend really helped him. In fact, it touched him so much that it almost made him cry. This message had a powerful impact on him. Rumors are flying he's with Kaitlyn Bristowe. There are rumors flying that Zac Clark is now dating former Bachelorette Kaitlyn Bristowe. The two have sparked rumors for quite some time, but neither has formally confirmed their relationship status. However, they were both seen together at the Super Bowl cheering on the Philadelphia Eagles. Kaitlyn made headlines when she shared on a podcast that she was going out on a date with a member of the franchise and this lady's ex. She never mentioned this person's name, but everyone is quite positive it was Tayshia. The woman whom she contacted did not react well and insulted Kaitlyn. At the time, Kaitlyn said, she called and was very upset. She said, "I always knew you were a bad person and you've confirmed it. Your true colors are showing." Then I hung up and thought, now I just want to send her a picture of me sucking his dick. What do you think about Zac speaking out about Tayshia for the first time 4 years later? Do you think Zac and Kaitlyn make a good couple? Jamie is a nurse and a mom of boys whose true passion is writing. She loves reality, cooking, and paranormal tea. Jamie has been writing online for several years. Zac Clark finally talks about Tayshia Adams' split. For months, Bachelor Nation had been left in the dark about one of the most talked about breakups in franchise history. Zac Clark and Tayshia Adams, who had won over millions of hearts with their love story on The Bachelorette, had called it quits in late 2021, but neither had fully addressed the reasons behind their split until now. Sitting down for an exclusive interview in early 2025, Zac Clark finally broke his silence. With his usual calm demeanor and thoughtful words, he offered a rare glimpse into the emotional toll of their highly publicized breakup, the lessons he learned, and where he stands with Tayshia today. The beginning of the end. Zac and Tayshia's love story began in a way that felt like a fairy tale. When Tayshia stepped in as the Bachelorette after Claire Crawley's whirlwind romance with Dale Moss, Zac stood out as a mature, grounded contestant. Their connection deepened through heart-to-heart conversations, culminating in an engagement that left fans swooning. But as the cameras stopped rolling, real life began, and with it, new challenges. The thing about The Bachelorette is that it puts you in this bubble, Zac shared. You fall in love under extraordinary circumstances. You don't have the same distractions, the daily responsibilities, or the pressures that come with a real-world relationship. Once the show ended, Zac and Tayshia tried to merge their very different lives. Tayshia, a California native, had a burgeoning career in entertainment, with hosting gigs and brand deals pulling her in multiple directions. Zac, a New Jersey-based addiction recovery specialist, remained deeply committed to his foundation, release recovery, and his work in sober living advocacy. There was never a moment where I didn't love her, Zac admitted. But we had different visions for our future. And when you love someone, you don't want to hold them back from being who they're meant to be. Behind closed doors, the struggles fans didn't see, speculation had run rampant about what had really caused their split. Some blamed the pressures of fame. Others pointed to rumored fights about lifestyle differences. Zac set the record straight, he said, his voice heavy with emotion. We went to therapy. We had hard conversations. But at the end of the day, we were living two different lives. He acknowledged that Tayshia's increasing time in Los Angeles while he remained in New York had put a strain on their relationship. Long distance isn't easy, but more than that, we were growing in different directions. I needed stability, and she was in a phase of life where she was embracing change, opportunity, and adventure. Zac also addressed the rumors that there was animosity between them. There was no big blowout fight, no betrayal, he clarified. Just a realization that we weren't each other's person in the long run. Healing after heartbreak. Despite the heartbreak, Zac emphasized that he had no regrets. Losing Tayshia was one of the hardest things I've ever gone through. But I wouldn't trade our time together for anything, he said. She taught me so much about love, about communication, about taking risks. He leaned heavily on his support system during the breakup, his family, his friends, and his work in recovery advocacy. Helping others gave me perspective. Heartbreak is painful, but it's not the end of the world. And I think, in a way, my experience helped me become an even better mentor for those struggling with loss and change. Zac also found solace in fitness and running, even completing multiple marathons post-breakup. Running became my therapy, he revealed. It gave me something to focus on, something to push myself toward. Where Zac and Tayshia stand today. It's been years since their split, and fans have often wondered whether Zac and Tayshia still keep in touch. When asked, Zac smiled softly. We don't talk regularly, but there's always going to be respect there, he said. I want nothing but happiness for her. He also addressed Tayshia's current dating life, though he remained respectful and vague. I know she's doing well, and that's all that matters. As for Zac, he admitted he had taken time before jumping into another relationship. I needed to make sure I was in a good place first, he explained. I'm dating now, but I'm approaching it differently. I'm looking for someone who aligns with my values and lifestyle in a more organic way. Lessons in love and moving forward. Now in a new chapter of his life, Zac shared the biggest lesson he took from his relationship with Tayshia. Love isn't just about chemistry or attraction. It's about partnership. It's about finding someone whose vision for the future aligns with yours. Looking ahead, Zac remains passionate about his work in addiction recovery and mental health advocacy. He has also expanded his foundation, focusing on helping those struggling with mental health challenges post-pandemic. Helping others gave me purpose, he said. It reminded me that even in loss, there's an opportunity to grow. As the interview wrapped, Zac had one final message for Bachelor Nation. Don't be afraid of change. Sometimes the hardest decisions lead to the best outcomes. I'm grateful for every step of my journey, including the heartbreak, because it got me to where I am today. With that, Zac Clark stood up, ready to face the next chapter with an open heart and a renewed sense of purpose. And while his love story with Tayshia Adams may not have ended with a happily ever after, it's clear that he has found something just as valuable: peace, growth, and a deeper understanding of himself.